the evolution side, yeah. So now we got some news out of Yuga. The Legends of Nara, one of their millionth games. But now we've got a round table, and in this image you can see there's different collections. So let's just take you to their Twitter where you can see it better. And this is from the other side. It said Bridge Worlds, Close Ranks, Slay Shattered, and Tame Other Side. So what's happening over here is they're showing which collections are going to be able to play initially within the other side. And I just want to point out these collections. If you have a look here, you've got Mutant Hound Club, which is quite interesting because they are actually a derivative project. They're no way related. I'll show you them.
Interesting.
I'm sure you remember them. They only came. The art is sick, bro. But they literally a knockoff of or a better version of Yuga's dogs.
Wait, hold on. Is this made by someone on the Bored Apes or something like that? It's the artist from the Yuga team? Wait, so what was the floor price a week ago?
It's not associated.
Have they pumped?
They pumped. They look here. They were sitting at 0.1 ETH.
That's not so bad.
They went all the way to 0.3 when this tweet came out, and now they've consolidated to just under 0.2. Yeah.
They'll probably come back to around 0.1. That'd be cool to get, bro. Because you're like now you're officially part of like Yuga, kind of like you're at the round table. That's a cool buy.
So you're not a part of. I agree with you that it might be a good buy if you want to play the game, but you're not a part of Yuga in any way. You just have access to the other side. You'll still need a vessel to have access to the other side also. So it's quite an expensive ticket to be able to play in the game. You got to buy a 0.1 or 0.2 ETH NFT and also a vessel that's sitting at a similar price. So for us NFT guys, maybe 0.4 is not too bad. But if you're trying to make a game that's played by everyone, who's going to pay $900 just to get an entry ticket into a game? Then you still need your 8 and the rest of it.
Bro, nobody in NFTs wants to play that game though. They're only marketing.
But I'm saying, especially even out of there, it's a high barrier to entry. But either way, we've got the Mutant Hounds, we've got Cryptodes, we've got World of Women, and they also pumped on this news. We got Meebits, we've got obviously Bored Ape with a heavy metal sitting on his lap over here. We got Forgotten Wizards Club, Forgotten Wizard Ruin Club. We've got 10KTF as well, and Renga as well involved over here, and obviously the coders. Yeah. Here's your guy.
Interesting.
So those are the connections.
Citizen at first.
Yeah, it looks similar. And then when you look at it over here, you'll see compared to the advert when they originally dropped the trailer, they've gotten rid of nouns because nouns were in here. And they've also gotten rid of CryptoPunks, interestingly. So, obviously they're trying to keep CryptoPunks now as a separate art project, but, that's strange because that's under their umbrella.
Right.
And Cool Cats is also not in here either. So we've lost Cool Cats, we've lost Nouns, and we've lost CryptoPunks, which is quite interesting.
I think it's basically like who's got a stronger brand. World of Women matters more than Cool Cats matters. They just do. It's a better message, stronger message, more legit.
I agree, but then that doesn't explain how they can allow these Mutant Hound guys.
Bro,
this must be a favor.
They're hella innovative, bro.
They're a derivative of the dogs.
Innovation.
It's strange.
No,
I mean, I really like the art on this.
Guys, this is the future.
Mutant
Hounds. Here, you're looking at it.
I really like the art on these, though. I must be honest. What do you think of the art? I mean,
I think it's cool. I just have no desire to buy animals. I would much rather buy like a PFP that would represent me, not an animal that would not represent me. Unless there's a specific game where you have to turn into a dog for the game, like maybe in that case, but still, otherwise, I'm looking for avatars of people or humanoid-looking things. I don't desire to be one of these. I don't see myself in them.
So yeah, we saw the pump there. The other pump that we saw was World of Women. They came out with that big news that we spoke about. Yeah, they did. I'm going to show you, Kate. But remember, Kate, you brought us that story about the FC Barcelona World of Women collab. That's the first we've heard from World of Women in a year. And now we heard this. Obviously, this is because Guy Alsari, who started at Yuga, it works for World of Women now. So there's definitely that relationship over there. But they did pump, bro. If you have a look over here again, they were sitting at 0.5.
Whoa, I did not know they're that low. Okay.
And then they went to 0.8, and they're now at 0.8. They're staying at 0.8.
Very
So
impressive.
remember when we looked at them last week, I thought they were like 1.5, and you said to me, no, they were about half ETH, and I can't remember exactly, but they were about 0.55 or something like that. So they've almost 2x'd in a week.
Wow. Goddamn.
And then Forgotten Ruins, which was. So this project I've heard a lot about over a long time. It's quite an OG project. It's been around for about 2 years. I don't know a huge amount of it, but I do know some very, very big guys that I respect love this project. But I don't know enough to talk about it on stream without doing research. All I can show you is that they actually went down on the news.
Oh no.
Which is hilarious. They were sitting at a 0.65. I mean,
they're not
they
about
might
it.
have
They don't
been
like Yuga. That community.
yeah.
I've been watching too much of my streams.
They're now 0.55. So they haven't dropped
fucking
too
go,
terribly.
baby. Let's go.
But
Let's
they're
go.
They're definitely down, which is interesting.
But that's actually hilarious. How is that even possible? How do you possibly go down in floor after?
I think that's such a bullish thing for their community. They're like, fuck this, we bigger than you guys. You know,
that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I don't think I've ever thought that it could ever happen. Imagine being in a part of an official Yuga Labs announcement and y'all literally crash. That is so funny, bro. Oh my god. That is too funny, bro.
And everything else went up, Cade. Everything else that was in that announcement.
Wow.
Almost 2x. I mean, I don't know what happened there. I can't tell you.
Bro, this is why you cannot. Like, I had a call with my friend yesterday, and he was asking me about my thoughts on investing in a Yuga asset versus another asset, and I was like, bro, do not look at any NFT ever like an investment vehicle, and you will be happy. But if you look at NFT as an investment vehicle, you may as well actually go and flip a coin, because it's that much of like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I remember when Cool Man's Universe had a huge announcement. Coffee Man Dan, literally the last time we saw him on Twitter, because it was so traumatic, probably. He like has the biggest announcement of his entire life that he's so excited to have, and he just delivers it the wrong way, and the floor cuts in half in minutes, bro. I remember sitting there in the spaces thinking, I should probably sell this right now, because there's no way this is that hype, because it's just him on stage, and it's not hype enough, and I haven't seen a trailer. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to list it right now. And I did, and it sold. And then the second it sold, he dropped the announcement. It didn't, it wasn't like viral in nature. So it didn't like get everyone hyped up. Everyone was just like, oh, nice. And then everyone's like, oh shit, that was the announcement. And then it just crashed in minutes. It was at 0.4 or something like that. And damn, bro.
So Crypto Dream has got me thinking now. So he says people selling the hype, right? So that might be it. What I'm thinking is maybe it leaked in their Discord or whatever before, and the pump was before. So let's have a look. Let's see. I mean, let's have a look and see if there was a pump before, because that's right. I mean, that's like an OG community would do that. They would know it. They would know about it. They would know about it before, and would have bought it. Always buy the rumor, sell the news.
The team is like, yo, sell your fucking assets right now, guys. Sell it, sell it, sell it.
No, but look, bro, that's not the case. On the 30-day, it was even higher. So that doesn't really. I mean, okay, end of June here, they pumped to 0.8, 0.79899, so 0.8.
Okay.
And they're now sitting at 0.56. So maybe they knew about it before, but they started selling the news before the news even came out. I don't know. We need to have someone from this community let us know. If anyone in the comments or on Twitter Spaces knows anything about Forgotten Ruins with the cult, why didn't they pump when they were shown as being one of the PFP collections that buys you access?
Not why did they pump? Why did they actually go straight down?
Why did they not pump? Yeah. Oh, why did they actually drop? Yeah. when the announcement came out. I'd love to know.
That is so funny, bro. Man.
All right, you ready for the next one?
I am.
All right, let's get straight into it. Hold on one sec. We here at Azuki. So look, I mean, Azuki to me is just going from bad to worse. I mean, I'm not saying they as bad as Moonbirds yet,
Yeah.
but I'm starting to see some similarities. Backtracking on things,
Uh-oh.
that loss of confidence. Getting the community to vote on every decision. Should Zagabond wake up this morning? Should he not?
Yeah.
So now the latest thing is that they've got to vote on the elementals. For those of you that don't know, there was a huge backlash when the elementals were revealed. They look almost identical to Azuki's. On top of that, they're more important than the beans, which everyone thought were more important than elementals. So now, going on currently, it started yesterday, but it's still going on. They've got to vote now. So if you are a holder of Azuki elementals, you can vote for the background, a domain background, if you want it to change or not. So you basically go to their website. If you are a holder, you'd connect your wallet and you can say you want to keep it as the originals or you want it to be modified. Modification means that you change the background slightly. So if you look at this lady over here, I'll try and make this bigger for you. If you look at this lady over here, she's got a background with a blue sort of @ sign. And if you go to original, there's no blue @ sign. It's just the blue background. So they want to try to do something that will make it stand apart. I don't think that that's noticeable because if you're using it as a PFP, I mean, I had to make it bigger for you to even be able to see the difference. I don't know, bro. I just think, first of all, they need to make proper decisions and show leadership themselves instead of, getting everything voted on. If you really involve people too much and you're going to upset more people than not, just make the decision, let the people that agree.
They just need to just redo the art if they're going to do this at all. Don't even, bro, why bother changing kind of changing the background? Just fucking fix the problem. The problem was it looks too much like Azuki. Just fix the fucking art. Just be like, yo, sorry, we're going to fix it. Obviously, the moment they change the art, the floor will literally 2x. Like, if they just said, yo, we're going to fix all of the art, see you in 4 months, it would pump 100%, and then all the FUD would be gone. Because that was the only FUD, bro. When the art's back, everyone's going to be like, bro, they did so well, man. They fixed the art, and then everyone pumps it up. There's too many whales in Azuki, bro. It's too easy for them to fix this. If they want to fix it, they will.
I disagree with you. I think that they are going to continue to bleed a slow death. I think that it's not necessarily just that there's this thing that they look exactly the same as Azuki's. I think that they were held in such high esteem that people cannot believe now. They were, Azuki was like becoming the sort of golden child of NFTs. And this has shown that they are just as bad as everyone else. They don't know what the hell they're doing. They've taken months and months and months of these stupid beans being there to come out with something that looks exactly like the original collection. That's not the FUD. The FUD is, we thought you guys knew better than this. You, the guys who are building gold skateboards, doing things different, how can you make such a rudimental mistake, such a basic mistake as making your secondary collection look exactly the same? And they've lost trust in the team. And I don't think you recover. I don't think you recover from that.
No, here's the thing. I agree with you there. And I'm 100% on board with you there for like the next month. And then in about a month, I completely would think the opposite. I think in a month, once all this emotions is back, and then we're a little bit depressed, and another person makes a mistake, and then another person does well. I don't think so. I think in a few months, everyone's kind of chilling again. Everyone's emotions are back to normal. These level out around whatever they level out around, and then we have 3 to 4 weeks of hype around Azuki. A bunch of people who are in Azuki obviously saying, listen, everyone makes issues. We have Frank coming on Spaces going, yo, we fucked up before. D mistake, whatever. D come back. And then everyone forgets about it. And then the metadata goes back into hibernation. Everyone gets pumped up. We start seeing Spaces about it. Azuki, what do y'all think? Is it going to pump the floor? Is it not going to pump the floor? The floor starts to pump. Everyone starts freaking out. Machi jumps in. Shilling Villain jumps in. The floor dumps a little bit. There's FUD. Someone makes a... Bro. We've seen this happen 100 times with 100 different projects.
Look, the only way that I think you have any chance of being correct is that they've recovered from this level of FUD before, from worse FUD with Zagabond. But that might be that might work out of their favor, because it could be like they were almost on probation in everyone's mind, and now it's the second problem.
I don't know, bro. They did not feel like they're on. They still don't feel like they're on probation. I think they feel totally fine. I think people are trying to hold on to the feeling of this pain that they're like, God damn it. But I think secretly in a month, it's going to be right back to normal. And this is probably, honestly, I could see these cutting another 50%, but I could see them coming back to 2 ETH. I don't think they'll ever really do anything crazy, but I see no reason that people won't just forget about this like they've forgotten about everything else. Bro, even the worst of projects has recovered.
Yeah, but it's not just this. It's also then how they handled it in the spaces. I mean, guys like us who...
They're going to forget, bro. They don't care in a month. We completely forget.
But this is what happened with Moonbirds, and they just continued making mistakes.
Moonbird CCO'd against everyone's... That was like... That's like not even a mistake. That's like should be illegal type of mistake. And then their team left. If Zagabond leaves the team, it's over. If Zagabond walks away, it will be over because you can't recover from that kind of FUD. The team has rugged before, and then he rugs now. It's over if that happens for Azuki.
Okay, they've gone from 17 Ethereum to 7 Ethereum, my brother. There are people who
these are higher lows, bro. Higher lows.
No. This is falling off a cliff lows.
To 8.
No, but this is in a week, Cade.
I know. It's bad. It is bad.
It's completely different.
It is very bad, but they're going to come back sitting at 10 ETH in a few weeks. They're going to be sitting at 10 ETH just like they always do.
It depends. And listen to me. It depends on their next couple of moves. And if they keep making everything a bloody vote, and not taking decisive action and fixing the mistake, there's been a lot of talk they could have done like animals or sub collections or babies. Azuki babies would have been so cool. Little babies, man. They would have been lacquer. So I mean, we'll have to see.
This thing I was just saying is only if they change the art. If they don't change the art, I don't have that same thesis. This is only if they say, all right, we're fixing all of the art. Sorry, we'll see you in a few months. That's the only way I see this happening.
Yeah, and fixing it well and maybe making babies. But even with that said,
they have.
Okay, but I'm saying even with that said, they've pissed off some of their whales, and that's what happened with Moonbirds. Some guys have sold and are not coming back to Azuki, so they're on a very tight line. I think this is 50-50. It could go either way depending on the next couple of weeks and what they decide to do.
But if you had to guess.
I would say that they're not going to recover. They will never be at 17 ETH again.
Oh,
ever.
Wow. All right. As a fan, we're going to need to see someone make the case against Philip for this one.
Well, we can
only make the case if they fix the art. If they don't fix the art, I'm in Philip's boat too. I agree.
Okay, but I'm saying even if they fix the art, they've lost the trust. The trust is gone. That trust that this team knows what they're doing. This is a seasoned team.
Bro,
they know what they do.
They don't care about trust, bro. Their founder is Zagabond. He's a literal rug puller. They don't care.
You're missing the point.
No way, bro.
Let's see.
I'm telling you, they don't care because if they did, they wouldn't be pumping that projects. They care because their bags are in there, which means they're going to care again. That's my point, is they do care about the trust, but the thing is they have so many bags and they didn't sell all of them. So they're like, well, we have no choice but to like have a support. There has to be a support line here because we're not selling them below this. So they're going to care because there's too many whales who are still there, bro. And if they did, they wouldn't be in the Azuki specifically because
so remember the problem with whales, Cade, is that you've got a couple of guys, and this is the case in Azuki. You've got a couple of guys sitting on 50, 100 of these things. And you piss off a couple of those guys and you're in big trouble because if 50 Azuki, even if you piss off one whale, if 50 Azuki hit the market and you're in trouble. And that's what happened here. That's how it can go from 17 to 7. So now they're on a tight line. And if they piss off another whale, it's going to half again. And then they're sitting at 3.5. And then there's panic. And so they are in big trouble. I think there's a 75% chance that they don't recover ever from this. But I'm telling you, they'll never go to 17 ETH again. Ever. I'll say it here. Take this tweet, do whatever. You can do your funny dance if I'm wrong, like you did with Moonbirds, but I won't be wrong. So I see we got a question here from Shadow NFT. What are your thoughts on RTKFT? I recently joined because I think Nike is going to take them to the next level. Plus, Animus Eggs looks pretty cool. 3D characters are cool. So, Shadows, thanks for coming, man. Good to see you. And let's get straight into it. That was on the timeline, and let's chat about it because there has been a little bit of stuff going on. First, let's play this trailer. I'll play it with sound because I couldn't care about being demonetized and losing $1.70. Okay, so you can first of all you can tell that it's a bear market because it's only 10 seconds long. So
Oh,
they
that's
didn't want
it?
to pay. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
They didn't want to pay someone for more than 10
bruh.
seconds. But like always, right? You've got really good animation. It's just showing the entire ecosystem on a comeback. So when hope is lost, we rise. It's sort of the introduction of the next stage, and that's what happened. They then posted this trying to show us what the animus is going to become. So again, they're playing the sort of Yuga card here, in that you got to try and figure out what is going on here.
Okay.
So I don't know if we start from top to bottom or what it is, but let's just say we start at the top. You've got a dog that's half dog, half man. He opens a zip and his tail comes out and he becomes a dog. And then so I think, I don't know. So it's almost like maybe your Clone X will be able to become an animal and change back, like we saw
Yeah.
with Doodles, where you could give it its vehicle and come back. What do you think, Kate?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Project Animus, it has to be some type of metamorphosis type of thing where you can just morph between your two characters. So I agree. It's gonna be like some type of companion / skin that you can more than likely swap between. I think it's cool as fuck. That would be awesome, bro. Imagine in the real
But it's
world.
its own project,
Do that.
eh? So
Oh,
it is its own project. So it makes it, yeah. I mean, let's see what the floor has done here. This is 7 days. When did they drop this video? Let's just have a look here. 3rd of July. Okay, so let's go here. 3rd of July. So guys were initially, it's hard to know because
hold on. What time did they drop it? That's 10 a.m. or that's midnight.
yeah, but
It's like right. That's the
again,
night before.
you're not really gonna know the time zones anyway.
It's true. But it'll
5:06
be set for your
p.m.
time. So this is
my
end of
time.
the day. End of the day, July
But
5th.
that's my time, Kate.
But no, but I'm
That's South
saying on
African
OpenSea you
time.
can check that exact same time because
OpenSea, I don't know
it'll
if
be
it's.
the same.
Let's have a look.
So that's AM.
AM, 5
So
p.m.
5 right
So
there.
they.
So they initially pumped.
So
For like
why were
an hour.
they had a big drop off
Interesting.
just prior. It is interesting. So let's assume that these time zones are all my time zones. Then you're correct. They did pump a bit to. I mean, it's so hard to get an actual number here. 0.589, and now they're sitting at 0.449.
Mm.
Interesting. Listen. You know me. I'm bullish as hell. I was bullish as hell on CloneX. Animus, I thought was a good investment. They've actually, if you look at the activity over a longer time period, they've stayed pretty consistent at this price. They're one of the few projects that have. I think John's really touched on it, and I've said it numerous times before. That my problem at the moment with CloneX, and I'm sorry, Kate, we've got to do something about this. Every time I share a bloody comment, it covers you, which is not okay. We've got to do something about it. But what John is saying is very much true. Dot Swoosh and is almost competing with CloneX, whereas we thought CloneX was effectively Nike's digital Web3 entry. That's what we thought. And then Nike went after the fact, after acquiring CloneX, went afterwards and created Dot Swoosh for the mass market, which is virtual sneakers and the same thing that CloneX is doing. And I don't know if there's been a split behind the scenes. I would think there has between CloneX and Nike, that RTKFT has become its own ecosystem that uses Nike's production to make the merch. I don't know what is going on here, but it's weird that Nike has launched their own sort of platform for digital wearables and things like that. And that has caused a lot of confusion, and a lot of people, including me, to sort of think, okay, this isn't Nike's entry. Dot Swoosh is Nike's entry, right? Even though Dot Swoosh came after.
I don't really understand the thing with. I have one. I just don't know what to do with it. It's not a PFP. It's not a community. I don't think it's competing with CloneX.
It allows you to buy. No, it allows you to buy things. They had a drop the other day for digital sneakers. That if you have a passport like you did, you'd have to pay for it. But you'd have to pay for it. It wasn't an airdrop. But they launched digital sneakers. They also launching unique sneakers in real life, exactly like CloneX is doing.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I also don't know. Again, if anyone in the CloneX ecosystem or part of the team wants to give us some clarity, I would really, really appreciate it. But looking here at the last 90 days, let's have a look. It has been on a slow bleed. overall. That was obviously a mistake, that one line down. So yeah, definitely some news going on in the ecosystem. Good to see anything happening there. I don't think they're going away. I think they're going to continue doing what they're doing. I like this ecosystem a lot. Yeah, I hold it deeper to my heart. I think it's good. Going to be interesting more so to see what Animus becomes.
True.
Very interested to see.
Yeah, bro. I'm rooting for CloneX. I just I don't really have any interest in investing in it, but as far as seeing what they do, bro, it's pretty cool. There's not that many companies that even can compete on this level. So the only people really to look at, other than maybe Project Kaizen or, I don't know who else is doing anything that's remotely close to yo, we're trying to show you some futuristic tech / VR AR components. There's a couple smaller ones, but no one at the scale that they're doing. So I think in Web3 we should be rooting for them in general. Maybe not their floor price specifically, but rooting for CloneX just because I don't know. They've got some cool content. I don't know what they've actually built, but it looks cool at least. That's all I can really say, I guess.
No, they don't. Look, I know the CloneX ecosystem better than most people out there. I don't often say that and toot my own horn, but I really do. And they've done a lot of cool stuff. They were one of the first to use OnCypher, where you had your own virtual room that you could customize, which later many other big projects, including World of Women and other projects, use the same thing. They were one of the first to do that, and they've continued to do that as far as that goes. Digital wearables, they've been researching that digital wearable technology for an incredibly long time, which is really, really cool, and we've seen that happening. And they were the first to launch clothing that has got that inside of it, that you could put that hoodie on, and then you had virtual wings as well. And then the same thing with their shoe drop. They've done the similar thing with their virtual shoes, that you can wear them in the metaverse and do things like that with them. And then your in real life merch is really cool. It's Nike quality merch. I've gotten quite a lot of it. It really is the normal Nike quality. It's great quality stuff, and it's unique. So there's a lot of stuff that they've done that they've done well. Then they messed up. They were also the first to launch the container, the box that no one knew what it was. They were the first to do that. And I see here we've got a super from Shadow. Thank you, Shadow.
Hey.
What's he saying here?
Damn.
Dot Swoosh are $20 shoes that are digital and Web 2.5. Okay, so sort of in between. And they recently announced that it will not be interoperable fully, only between EA games. It's just for normies. RTKFT is their premium. Okay, cool.
I got my
bullish.
So that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah. Then I'm bullish, man, because if RTKFT is Nike's thing, that's their proper, what they're behind as far as their Web3 entry and metaverse wearables, then I'm super bullish on them. Super bullish. But I'm telling you, like I said last week, I am feeling like I need to get some ETH and I need to start buying a couple of NFTs. I really, really do feel that way. It's starting with the CloneX, an Animus egg, a mutant again. I got to get one of those. I got to get into some of these ecosystems.
Damn.
I'm super, super bullish, and I think the entry level prices are high.
Really?
Azuki is almost like Pepe coin. It could go back to 15 ETH in the next 2 months, but it could go to 0. It's like, at this point, for me, Azuki
go to 0
now, because of what has happened,
bro.
I really believe Azuki is high risk at the moment.
Vagabond would have to leave for that to happen. If he's there, they stay.
I think it goes up if he leaves. I don't like that guy.
No way, bro. No way.
It
should go up, but I don't think it will. I think it's the nail in the coffin if he leaves. Because then it's there's literally no reason for any self-respecting person to be in that project at that point. Seriously. I feel like egos will take over and we'll be like, all right, we need to put our faith in someone else. And I think that liquidity goes elsewhere. It goes to someone like Pudgy Penguins. It should.
It's going to be interesting.
Pudgy Penguins should be at 80 ETH, bro. In my opinion. If D-Gods is sitting at 70, 80 ETH, Pudgy Penguins should be close to 6, 7.
Pudgy's gone from 1 to 4 in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I think they're fairly priced. I think, and I'm going to get a lot of flack from you, Cade. I think Frank D-Gods are overpriced at 80. Honestly, especially in this market.
I think they're great.
I think they should probably. Exactly. I'm actually agreeing with you, but I think it's the other way around. I think D-God should be 4. So
Yeah.
I think Patches and DGods are doing this good things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so.
Sappy, bro.
We've got another.
I'm telling you, Sappy Seals
Yeah,
is on the rise too. Sappy Seals is not copying.
I've
They're
liked Sappy
copying
Seals
their
for a long
style
time.
on Instagram. They're doing very well. Sappy Seals is a community
They've
I'll
been
really
building a
need to pay attention
game
to.
for a long time, Sappy Seals,
Yeah.
and I am bullish on them. Not financial advice. So I just
Agreed.
want to say one thing. So we got a My Pet Hooligan guy, and we did that video on My Pet Hooligan. What a community, bro! We tweeted
Yeah.
out that video. I tweeted it out. I tagged you in it, and next second I had 300 and something retweets, another 100 followers, and really, what a community! Just a big shout out to the community. I agree 100%. I would pick up a My Pet Hooligan 100%. I think that they heavily undervalued, like we said last week, and I completely agree with this comment over here. 100%. I see we got another OG here. We got Luke. Luke, good to see you. So
Hey,
good to
look
see
at that
you.
George hat.
Always,
Look at that George
always
beanie.
good. And then, yeah, that's beautiful. A good merch. If you want it, go to george.com. Okay.
GeorgeKingdom.shop.
I was close. Sappy Seals, Sappy Seals is value. Menu pages.
Yo.
Is it every NFT project ever?
Yo.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I do think that Ruin Dust unfortunately does have a point here. I do think that people are starting to see that even now with Board APR Club at around 30 Ethereum, which is the lowest it's been since 2021. So if you say 30 ETH times, let's just say, so it's still $60,000. That is too much money for something where there's another 9,999 of them. I agree, I do agree with Ruin Dust, unfortunately. I think that the upper echelon collections are overvalued. I really do believe that. $60,000 for
That's
Board
why I'm
Ape
not in a
is too
hurry to get in
much.
all these because I want to see what they've got and if there's any point to even be in their community in a few years. That's why I'm like a lot of them. I'm just kind of chilling. Like there's a few that I'm just like paying attention to, like the people I like and seeing what communities that they're vibing with. What are the just like if there's any opportunities, like whatever. There's just certain things that I go towards, I guess. I mean that's really the only reason I buy them anyway. I don't really ever buy because I'm like I can't wait to sell this at a different price. That's very rare for me because I wasn't naturally a trader. I guess maybe in this next bull run I might be, but most of the NFTs I
See,
buy.
what I would buy to trade, but what I would do is that typical thing that we used to talk about in the bull market. I'd buy two or three, so sort of buy one to hold, and buy the other two, hopefully to 2x the first one, and then to sell the other one, and then you completely paid for it yourself, and you get to keep the third and a bit of profit. But another one that I would actually, I don't, I'm not, and none of this is financial advice, just to make it very, very clear. But another one that I would seriously look at buying, and I don't really know if now is the best time or not, because I don't, the floor price is pretty high because of all the good news. But I'm bullish on only one force. I really, really am. I think that they're looking really strong at the moment. If we have a look over here, they welcomed a new artist, Raymond underscore 90, but he's an artist from Riot Games, bro. And he's worked on projects like Legends of Runeterra, Spider-Man, and things like that. He's now their creative advisor, bro. So that's pretty bullish. Oh, sorry. And remember, only one force was the original anime before Azuki.
Bro, what if Oni One replaces Azuki, bro?
I'm telling you, I would buy an only one force as well.
I
That's
would
part of my shopping.
much rather be an Oni One. Oni One's art is way cooler too. Like anyone who talks shit about Oni One over Azuki, you're crazy. Oni One's art is literally 10 times cooler than Azuki's. I would much rather hold one of these. It's so much more colorful. They don't have a fucking rugger as their project founder. They're sitting at a way undervalued price if you're going to compare the two. I guess they haven't done the same hype, but if you're just going to be like, yo, this anime project versus that one, dude, Azuki could have, or I mean, not Azuki, anyone could do this, bro. The fact that they came back from the dead the way they did, bro.
Yeah,
I've also heard
they were
rumblings of
proper
Mechaverse,
dead.
bro. I've heard rumblings of Mechaverse maybe making a comeback. I've also heard that for the last 4 months, so that's probably not true. But I have heard rumblings of Mechaverse being something that people are paying attention to behind the scenes. I don't know why.
Look, it looks like a good time to buy in. I mean, the high, I've only one force, not financial advice. The high was 2 ETH in
Yeah.
the last 90 days, and they're sitting at 1.19. Um, yeah, man, they're making good moves. They're making good moves. I see something interesting here from John Ezra saying Murakami flowers and Max Payne by X copy. Definitely, I agree, John. I mean, look, that's art meta. We mostly talking about PFPs here. On the art side, I mean, outside's too expensive, but I mean, I'd love a ringers. I'd love it for tensors. I mean, obviously, but I mean, that stuff I think is still way, way too overpriced. Um, I really do believe that, unfortunately, long term, unless it's a small collection of 100 by a notable artist,
Yeah.
I don't think these floor prices are sustainable.
I mean, it's always been
Unfortunately,
that same story. You're like, you got to find a creator who's literally going to get famous. It's the only way you will make monetary investment gains from that. It's like you have to find someone who actually is worth more in 20 years, which is very hard to do. Like most people aren't even in the game in 20 years. They've completely left and disappeared because they either failed or gave up. Like almost everyone that I've invested in is gone, which is sad because I'm like, I was always like, I would take pride in finding people where I'm like, no, this person's going to stick around. And I'm probably like 5 for 50 on that. Like I would say 45 of them are gone. And I'm like, I can't believe it. Like they were so consistent. They were like, it seemed like they're really about it. I was like, there's no way, like they're a real artist. They're not just here for it. Bro, they're almost all gone, or they've drastically by 99% reduced everything. They're coming on every 9 weeks to make one video. They're not, and I'm just like, dude, damn, that's too bad. Because it's not
look,
just
the
NFTs that gave you
truth
that platform. Now you have a platform online which you can use to push and do anything you
you
want.
can
It was
leverage,
just a
yeah.
matter of not giving up.
Look, I think I get you, and I do understand the disappointment. I also think that it's a different situation for different people, Kate. So just put yourself in this situation. Imagine that you weren't doing your sort of diary type content online, and you came in and really started online because of the NFT bull market. Just imagine that, and you were making a decent living. You left your normal job. But let's just say you had a child, you had expenses every single month, like proper expenses. Like, you had to buy formula for your child every single month. You got a wife that has just had a baby. Now this child's new. She's not working. You've got to pay the rent. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. You now can't get a cent out of sort of any sponsorship deals or things like that because you're an NFT channel. At some point you got to say, look, I've got to do what I got to do. I got to get a
Bro,
job
not
and
for
I got to pay
artists.
the bills.
For artists, I'm like, bro, like I know life gets heavy and difficult, but if your goal is to be like, that was why you made the NFT project, because you were like, I believe in myself to be one of the best. I think I can get there. That's not contingent on the market or how hard life gets. It's just one of those things that like you still do the thing because like that's what you want. Like your goal is to get here. Like you still have to like do the work to get
So
there.
yeah, maybe I misunderstood. I thought you meant like these YouTubers. You said were doing videos every day and they
Oh,
now post
bro, I did
once every
not
couple
hold.
of
No,
months.
no, I didn't hold many
Okay,
YouTubers.
no, I didn't know.
All
Artist side of
artists. Yeah, my bad.
things, no,
All
artist
artists.
side of things, I got no idea. Just
Artists
because
that had like, if I
that's
was a
your.
photographer, I guess this nulls out your argument then. But like, if say the argument is still valid, like if I was a photographer and I made that whole thing, and I am a photographer. I did make the projects. I am still here. But if my goal was like all photography stuff, even if life got busy, I would still be able to make content, even if it's shitty content. But like, bro, you have a chance here. You just sold art online. That's your actual photography. People like your photography and like you enough to buy it. And like, why would you not at least keep that? I'm not sure. Like, if your goal is to do photography and make sales and like share that, then like, what? There is no argument for that, specifically for artists. So if you're an artist who gave up because you're like, man, there's no more NFT market, it's like, okay, that's fine. Take out the NFT part. You still have the art and you still have these products that you created. You can kind of like, sort of like Punchy Penguins did, sort of forget about the NFT part for a bit and build your following and your brand just about you. And be like, yo, by the way, all these things that you see are digital collectibles you can buy. And at that point, you've won them over because they like you. And so they're a lot more willing to be like, okay, I did hear about this NFT thing. It seems like people bought them in the past for X amount of money. It looks like there was some kind of value. There must be something to this. Maybe I can ask them, it's been a year and a half. Yo, if I bought this NFT, there's no one fucking in your community anymore. Everyone's gone. Would you be down to like send me a real life version or like whatever, like mail me something like that? That's one of those things where if you're a small time artist, those are things you can do. and that can build you in the ranks kind of and push you up and up.
Look,
and
I
make
think
connections.
what a part of what you're saying is very, very, very important in life in general is not to close any doors no matter what. So always to keep doors open. And I think by sort of ragging and selling an NFT and then leaving, no matter how many you sold and no matter how big or small the profit was, I think it is a mistake because you are closing a door. And you should never do that. You should always keep a door open, even if you worked as a waiter at frickin' Wendy's, and you end up leaving. Leave on good terms. So you never know. And I'm not saying you necessarily will never get another job at Wendy's, but you never know. You might end up opening a company that supplies the cups to Wendy's, and you walk in there, and that person who you told to go F themselves is now the head of procurement for Wendy's. The world works like that.
You gotta stroke the
In
fire,
weird
bro.
ways.
You just gotta keep stroking the fire. You gotta
but
keep
also
going.
don't leave doors closed.
Exactly.
If you need to leave something, rather leave it correctly instead of just up and leaving and screwing people over, right?
Yeah, I mean, my torches were just nothing when I first sold them. Like I was like, yeah, these are just an extension of the access keys. If you can't afford them, this is another way to get into the ecosystem. And I was like, and in the future, I'll figure something out for it. I don't know what it is though. That's literally what my pitch was when I first sold the first torch collection. It was fine. That's why they bought it. They knew that's what they were getting themselves into. By the time the second torch collection came, a full year after that, it had basically been the same message, but I was like, I'm a little bit closer to finding out what that is. And I think it's going to have to do with my content and what I'm going to have available and access and Discord. I'm going to close the Discord and make it some type of token gated thing. And if you want to be part of that at all, especially when the market comes back, you're going to want to have one of these torches. And if you want all the stuff, you're going to want one of the access keys. And as the world changes, like I will have to adapt. And so like the meaning of holding one of those changes, but like, that's kind of the game is like, okay, if I'm a big trader, then during CADES trading era, when everything's about trading, like I should be in this for sure. And if I need to get out, I sell it and I get out. But it's one of those things where I'm like, it just moves and morphs with you. And that's the whole point of the NFTs is like, that's your assets. It's your name. It's your brand on the line. And it's your responsibility to kind of pick up the pieces every time they fall and do something with it.
I understand. And I respect you for doing it. I think everyone should. And it is disappointing when people don't do it. Okay, next story, Project Ether. All right, so Ether, this new mint, only whitelisted minted so far. We're still waiting for the main. Let's just do this backwards. So let's jump onto OpenSea first. You can see here 1,800 have been minted. You've got only 3% listed. That's quite bullish. Owner count 879, which is a good unique owner count, just under 50%, and floor price sitting at 0.67. A lot of, I did look into some of these sales. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. Definitely a lot of the team buying their own NFTs at this point to keep the floor price propped up because they've still got the public. I don't know why they made the public a week later. It was a big mistake. I would have told them if they had asked for advice, I would have told them freely. That's a mistake. The one thing that I've learned in the projects I have assisted and been a big part of is momentum during mint is incredibly important. And you don't want to lose that momentum. And having a week break is a big mistake. So we saw the opposite end of it with the 10-minute mint window for Azuki, which was also very offensive to a lot of people. And that also had a lot of problems. So it wasn't just the art. But I mean, imagine you lived in a country far away and that time was 3:00 in the morning for you and you were in Azuki whale. It's just not considerate. So that's the opposite end where they try to keep the momentum too much. They literally gave 10 minutes to that one, 10 minutes to that one. And that was also wrong, but a week is crazy. So anyway, they've realized this Ether when they've seen that the price has dropped so low. And they've said, look, we're going to be dropping the collection size from 10,000 to 5,555 because of current market conditions. But what else is interesting here, if you look at their Twitter, is that is their last tweet, the 2nd of July, which is very telling because today is the 8th of July and their remaining supply is supposed to go on sale on the 9th of July, which is tomorrow. And you've literally had no activity at all for the last 7 days when they should have had the most or the last 6 days where they should be having the most activity. And if they think keeping their floor price just nothing, if they think just keeping their floor price just above mint is going to be enough to incentivize people to mint, they are very, very wrong. And remember, their whitelist mint was 0.3 something ETH. So that was another crazy thing, is they gave such a benefit to the whitelisters that naturally a lot of those people feel, look, I can 2x in a very bad market. And they have now had to fuel that 2xing. So everyone who minted at 0.35 is more than happy to sell at 0.5, knowing that the team has to keep it over 0.65 for longer than a week, because the public mint is 0.65.
Yeah.
What they should have done is kept the collection size at 10,000 and said the mint price for everyone is going to be 0.35, because then they wouldn't have had to artificially prop up the floor price, which they're still going to have to continue to do, buying everyone's bags who whitelisted, and they could leave it naturally and let it get to 0.4, 0.45, and they'd have a much better chance of selling out, because naturally the floor would hold above mint price substantially enough for people to want to mint. Because if I see a mint at 0.35 and the floor is 0.45, I'm happy to mint if I want to flip it, because to make 0.1 is great, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a lot of mistakes have happened here. And I think the inactivity speaks volumes. And I think they're in a lot of trouble with this mint that's happening tomorrow. I think it's really going to be an issue for them.
Yeah. Well, so if you look at my shared screen, I just interviewed OG, who's you've probably seen him on your timeline, guys. He's been interviewing like basically everyone. He's really good on Twitter. Pretty funny, nice guy. And he's like 21 years old. He's just high energy. And he loves Ether. He's like been all about them. I think he's even got them in his bio and stuff. Like, he just likes the team. He met them all. So he's a big proponent of Ether. So I asked him a couple things about it. He's not too worried about it. But he's also, he's for sure biased. However, I did not know that they've been literally inactive for like a week. That is very interesting. And I didn't know that I didn't know we were still waiting on the public. I thought that had already happened. Like, I thought it was like right after this interview, I thought the mint was happening. And I just didn't expect us to still be not knowing. I don't know. 10 days is crazy, bro.
No, so I think it was about 7 days. So it's been 6 days. So yeah, it's a week. But that's, it doesn't matter. Even 2 days is crazy. You go a couple of hours is what you got max. Yeah. I think they made a big mistake over here for sure. And I think they've made an even bigger mistake by cutting the supply instead of cutting the price. And they're getting a lot of FUD for it. So that's that. And just to have